Will Timo Werner be a success at Spurs? The German striker had a pretty tough time at Chelsea previously, but has shown high levels in the Bundesliga. But how does he suit this Spurs side, and will he be a success? We'll be touching on his main qualities, his weaknesses that may be an issue, and how Spurs will set up with him in the side and why. But first, please go and subscribe if you are new. Please also like the video and let us know what kind of video you want to see in the comments. The engagement is vital for our growth, so don't hesitate to get involved. But without further ado, let's get into it. So Timo Werner is a player who splits opinion, but he has some certain non-debatable qualities. As a left-sided forward or number 9, he has blistering speed. Both on and off the ball, he can thrive off space ahead of him. He eats up that open space with a brilliant timing of runs too. This combination of elite movement and speed is a recipe for a devastating attacker who is a nightmare to defend. He can stretch back forwards very well by always asking questions with his relentless energy. This can lead to him receiving passes in behind or creating space for others by pulling defenders with him. This ability means he thrives best against high lines and in attacking transitions, but this relentlessness also translates to his pressing. He's a smart but also intense presser, which constantly puts opposition defenders under pressure and can lead to them making mistakes. He also has good versatility with the ability to play out wide, making out-to-in runs in the spaces between the fullback and centre-back, or he can be a number 9 to stretch the back four vertically and create spaces for teammates in front of the defence in the number 10 position. So what are his weaknesses? He is a very inconsistent finisher. He rushes shots when he has time, has poor shot selection in terms of the type of finish he opts for in different situations. For example, you may see him use his laces when he should side-foot it into the corner. He often struggles with decisions when he's got too much time to think and may shirk responsibility in and around the goal too. Although when he is confident, he doesn't overthink as much and can thrive with instincts more. So when in a strong run of form, like his best seasons at Leipzig, he can be a top goal scorer. His movement and speed is so elite that if he's confident in front of goal, he can be devastating. Technically though, he's also pretty poor. He has a lack of refinement in his final third play. He can lose the ball when pressed and can lose control of the ball at times when he shouldn't. His combination play is okay without being great. So how do these attributes translate to Ange's Spurs system? Well, with Son off to the Asian Cup, we certainly needed a body in the squad for the forward line. I imagine most of his minutes will come either on the left flank or as a 9. Ange is clearly a big fan of his intensity both in and out of possession. Ange loves speed in his forward line to be released quickly. When space is left in the opponent's half for attacking transitions, Ange loves to make advantage of this in a quick fashion. Out of possession, he's an elite presser too. This is something Ange has spoken about consistently and has been a huge asset of our game in chance creation. The 2-0 win against Fulham at home was a great example of this, where both goals were products of us winning the ball high up. However, I have some concerns about how chaotic our front line is. Werner adds to that chaos without much guile or composure. I expected us to go for a different profile in that front line, as Johnson, Richarlison and even Son all lack the ability to keep hold of the ball in the final third. This leads to multiple turnovers when our forwards have the ball and often causes our games to become like basketball matches, where games become end-to-end and much more open to chance than we'd like. If we had another forward who added a bit more composure and technical security there, we'd probably have a bit more control and would be able to sustain attacks better in the final third. Kulusevski does provide this, but he's been playing a bit more in field recently. Therefore, I'm looking at the midfielders to bring that sense of composure, calm and balance to the side. They need to be able to recognise game state and what the game requires. Of course we know Ange is big on consistently playing forwards. However, I think at times the midfielders will need to take the sting out of the game, slow the tempo down and keep possession of the ball, especially when we're 1 or 2 goals up. This will help us control games better. Another reason for this is to enhance the abilities of our front 3. With Johnson, Werner and Son, we have 3 great attackers of space. Therefore, to create that space for them to run into, we need to continue to draw the press out. Our midfielders and backline dwelling on the ball at times or popping it around attracts opposition players and then creates those artificial transitions for our blistering attackers to utilise. Here is where we will see Werner thrive, with space for him to attack with his blistering pace. It's a signing that came out of nowhere, but one that I'm curious about. He has pros and cons, but I'm convinced Ange sees his qualities as something he can really utilise in the ways we've outlined. With confidence, Werner is a scary player for defenders to face. Let's hope we get that version of the German.